But what you're really saying, and the reason why you're not a high performance person yet, does anybody know why?
Than what we're looking for.
Well, no. Your expectations are too low. It's all about setting expectations, kids. You set high expectations, but contrary to what you believe or what you think or what your in-laws told you, not that many people are out there asking.
It's good to get your adrenaline running like that. And that's one of the reasons we have in your reports, if you remember, what did you do to scare yourself? That's the whole purpose for that. Because most people don't do that. And some people say, I can't be scared. Well, I'll show you how to get scared, okay? You can be scared.
In the old days, when an American basketball team went to the Olympics, there was no question in anybody's fucking mind they were going to win gold. And then, what happened? The new generation came around and decided, well, going to the Olympics is enough. It's an experience. Medaling is enough, and sure as shit, we got our ass kicked. Now, remember when Cassius Clay, before he became Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest, right? He was telling everybody. Now, he didn't really believe that, but it was part of his shtick, okay? I really do believe I'm the greatest, okay? And he went around flapping his mouth, and there's been 4 or 5 athletes in the last 30, 40 years that have talked like that. But most of them are humble, right? Most of them are humble. And but he didn't surpass his wildest expectation. He attained his wildest expectation. Preparation. And I practice 1 hour, at least 1 hour for every hour that I'm with you. I practice an hour before you got here. So I practice 50, 60 hours, and I could give this seminar in a coma. Literally in a fucking coma, because I know your questions. They're all the same retarded meathead questions. And they're all based because you're afraid. False expectations appearing real. You're afraid, you know. It's the unknown you haven't done. Your expectations will be different now, leaving here in a few days. Because you know what's possible. You know even dirtbags like you. Those people up there were once dirtbags that didn't know any better. Then they achieved super success.
But you don't, not everybody has to jump out of a plane skydive. Not everybody has to do some of the things that some of the guys do. Of course, that stuff costs money. So you can scare yourself. We've had guys, and I'm not recommending this to anybody, go into Starbucks, Chicago, wearing a diaper by the Loop, the Starbucks by the Loop on Michigan Avenue, wearing just a diaper. Okay, we've had guys naked on Madison and 54th Street in the intersection, lying in the middle of the intersection, naked. Didn't even get arrested in New York. I mean, I can give you shit that'll scare you or make you uncomfortable, so don't tell me you can't find anything. Marcus is thinking about that guy naked in the middle of 54th and Madison. We've had guys, again, I'm not recommending this, little guys go find a big guy in a bar and pick a fight with him and get their fucking ass kicked. I'm not recommending that either. But there are ways to scare yourself.
I think 3 people asked him how he gets out of his fucking comfort zone. Okay? And you're not going to be, some of the guys go and skydive and jump, bungee jumping, like stuff that I've done in recent years. But he was afraid of asking, before he had a big company behind him with a big balance sheet. That's a lot different. We've had guys from Goldman Sachs come in here and they piss their pants because they're not wearing the Superman Goldman Sachs shield, and they never had to worry about the money there. Well, now now will they still say yes to me when I don't have, the big company behind me? And now, for those of you that have never been with a big company, never had a big balance sheet, you don't know, but I've never really had that either. So, but he is going out there, he's pressing the flesh with people that would normally say no. I used the analogy during the Battle of the Somme, which is the 100th anniversary was just, and we've got some lieutenant or captain, a British guy with his little swagger stick under his arm and his whistle. And he goes, beep, beep, over the top, boys. And every third guy knows he's gonna get his brains blown out, going over the top, but they still go. That's what you wanna be. You wanna be that little, beep, beep, over the top, boys.
You want the adrenaline to respond when you want it to respond, not when somebody else makes adrenaline. You want it to do it yourself. You want it to be a conscious effort on your part to get pumped up. Now, some of you were doing push-ups and jumping around, and I was teasing you. It's too late. If you're skipping rope now, it's too fucking late. You skip rope real well, Marcus. You look great skipping that fucking rope.
Yeah, well.
I mean, and he went backwards and all. Well, it didn't do him much good. You were skipping rope. You were skipping rope together, you know. And then all of a sudden, when he found out he was going to fight with you, fuck, you know, this is the wrong guy. But and some of you were push-ups or press-ups, as they say in this country, and some of you went to do some dumbbell bullshit. Or, you know, it's too late. You know, if your body wasn't used to this stuff, you're not going to be able to get yourself tuned up in, you know, a few minutes. But that was nervous energy. That's nervous energy.
You've got to set your expectations with your board members. You know, like the kid says, can you get it done in 2 months? Well, you might as well ask, can you get it done tomorrow? You know? But if you set the expectations when you're recruiting your board, and they think you're going to go out there and you're going to be Captain America, and then you sit and you're sitting there pulling your pud in the 5th month, they lose confidence in you. And confidence, I mean, gets back to leadership, is what this is all about, controlling your board. Not controlling it in a disingenuous way, but controlling it so you want them to do what you want them to do when you want them to fucking do it, not when they want to fucking do it. There's a guy out there that's still talking about his $1.7 million he made 35 years ago. Some of you has been to his seminar. Well, $1.75 million 35 years ago. Today it's about, maybe it's $2 or $3 million. But you will never surpass your wildest expectation. You will never surpass, and when we do goals tomorrow, you will never surpass your wildest expectation. You want them to be set up for the right expectations. And the right expectation as soon as humanly possible. That, you know, to some that's going to mean 3 years, to some that's going to mean 5 months. But don't set a time frame. And when you recruit these guys, I guarantee, for those of you that wanted to make $1 million or $3 million, whatever the minuscule amount of money that you put down, or, you know, what's your goal, whatever, I guarantee you, if you hadn't come here, that's the very most that you'd ever make, unless you won the lottery or something. And those goals that you put on your paperwork before you got here are based on what? The role models you saw growing up, the role models before your parents, to the extent that you had any involvement with your grandparents, and in a couple of cases, maybe your great-grandparents. A couple of you said, I remind you of your grandfather.
A lot of you have already, that we've talked to you so far, said that you've been a person that has gone against conventional wisdom. You've already made your a commitment to yourself to do this and that. But what you're really saying, and the reason why you're not a high-performance person yet, does anybody know why?
Than what we're looking for.
Well, no. No. Your expectations are too low. Expectations for yourself are too low. I've heard 10, 12, 15 people here say that I'm willing to do this, I've always been willing to do this, I've always been a da-da-da-da-da. Well, then why in God's name, then, aren't you a high-performance person? Because your expectations are in the toilet. It's all about self-esteem. It's all about feeling good about yourself. If that doesn't change, either you're all lying or you're telling the truth and you got low expectations. There's one of the two. You can't have it both ways.